Welcome to a session in which we will discuss how decisions affect multiple sections of a business plan. You may remember that we defined a business plan as a guide which outlines the objectives of a business. It then gives details about what the owners of the business must do to achieve those objectives. A business plan consists of 4 sections or sub-plans. These are called marketing and sales plan, production plan, people plan, and finally, financial plan. The 4 sections are connected with each other. Hence, the process of preparing a business plan is an iterative process. That means a change in one section can change other sections. In this session, we will take a few examples to understand this interconnectedness of the 4 sections. Let's begin by looking at an entrepreneur who is planning to start a mango pickle business. There are some established brands and also some local brands in the market. While analyzing and creating the marketing and sales section of the business plan, she finds out details of these likely competitors. She realizes that for the price they charge, the packaging is not very good. Hence, she wants to offer better packaging but at a price 10% higher than the closest likely competitor. After she completes production plan and people plan, she comes to the financial plan. While working on this section, she realizes that the better packaging material will be much more costly. It is reducing the forecasted profits substantially. So, she changes her strategy. She decides to offer a similarly packaged mango pickle at the same price as that of the competitor. But now, she realizes that her product doesn't offer anything special to attract potential customers. She then decides to reduce her price so that it is 5% lower than the competitor's price and makes changes to the marketing and sales plan. She recalculates forecasted profits and the revised number seems to be acceptable to her. In the second example, let's look at an entrepreneur who is planning to start a snack shop. Her main target customers are schools, which may buy snacks in bulk for their functions. She has talked to 1 or 2 schools. Based on that discussion, she knows that the schools typically ask for 15 days credit. She prepares the marketing and sales plan section accordingly. In the production plan section, she realizes that the raw material suppliers will have to be paid immediately after the purchase. When she comes to preparing the forecasted cash flows in the financial plan section, she realizes that monthly cash outflows will be much more than cash inflows. This means higher working capital need. She will find it difficult to get this additional amount of capital. She realizes that she will have to ask suppliers for a credit period of 15 days. But they may not agree. So, she will have to negotiate with them by offering to pay a price which is about 5% more than what they usually charge. With these revised numbers, she recalculates the forecasted cash flows and P and L and finds the number to be reasonable. Let's consider an example for a trading business. There is an entrepreneur who is planning to start a grocery shop. In her marketing and sales plan section, she has decided to sell cold drinks in the shop. Summer will be here soon, and so this is likely to attract more customers. Her likely competitors are not selling cold drinks, so she will have an advantage. While analyzing the equipment section of the production plan, she realizes that she needs a small fridge to keep the cold drinks. She decides to buy the fridge since she can also use it for storing perishable things. In the financial plan, she recalculates the amount of fixed capital needed. She realizes that the amount is too high for her to invest. This higher fixed capital is because of the fridge she has decided to buy. She has an idea and visits an appliance shop. They have a scheme to rent a fridge. This offers her a good alternative. She makes an appropriate change in the production plan section. There are two impacts of this decision. The first is on the fixed capital requirement. It is now reduced to a reasonable value which she can afford. The second is on the monthly cost. It will go up due to the rent for the fridge. She recalculates the forecasted P and L. Even though the forecasted profits are reduced, they are still good enough for her. She can always buy the fridge after a few months after the business becomes stable. Here is an example of a service business. The entrepreneur is planning to start a beauty parlor. In the people plan section, she decides to hire a full-time helper. But when she comes to the financial plan section, she realizes that the forecasted P and L is showing profits which are lower than expected. This is because of the salary paid to the full-time helper. She considers hiring a part-time help instead, which is likely to be easily available. But this means she will need to work alone for a few hours. It will then take a bit longer to service each customer. Hence, she can service fewer customers in a day. So, she has to change the sales plan. This leads to lower forecasted revenues. She then recalculates the forecasted P and L with new numbers. The positive impact of lower cost is much more than the negative impact of lower revenues. So, the profits are now slightly higher and acceptable to her. The examples we discussed show some of the common ways in which different sections of a business plan influence each other. There are many other possibilities. Through these examples, we can see that preparing a business plan is an iterative process. Hence, it is not enough to simply go from one section to the next, but an entrepreneur should be open to making changes to the previous sections based on the answers to the subsequent sections. Hopefully, you now have a good idea about how certain decisions taken by an entrepreneur can affect multiple sections of a business plan.